Alright guys, Spider-Man Far From Home Trailer 1 is here, and we're gonna talk about it. Why, you may be asking yourselves, because I have nothing else to do right now. Oh god, I'm so lonely. Anyways, so, in this trailer, we open up with something that a lot of people were afraid was going to be just outright forgotten about at the end of Homecoming, and that's that Aunt May knows Peter is Spider-Man. And a lot of people didn't like this when this was done in the movie, but seeing that it's actually going to play a bit of a role, if only in that one scene in this movie, actually I'm kind of okay with it. Part of the reason I'm okay with it is I actually really like Marissa Tomei as Aunt May. Yeah, it's weird she's so young and hot. Yeah, it's weird they keep acknowledging it. But she actually brings a lot of charm and personality to the role. Not to discredit the other two Aunt Mays, they did fine in the roles they were supposed to play, but I feel like Marissa Tomei just feels a little more realistic and feels a little more interesting than the other two do, if that makes any sense. But no, and I like her chemistry with Holland. I mean, Holland has great chemistry with everybody he seems to be put up against. It's insane how well he does, but I love that montage in Homecoming, where it's just like Aunt May just like getting him ready for the dance, like learning to dance, learning to tie a tie, all these fun little things that like a parent would do with a child and treating it like a very just normal average thing. So I'm totally fine with that. Then we get that we're going to Europe. Some people are actually not okay with taking Spider-Man out of New York. For me, we've had seven big screen Spider-Man movies all set in New York. Let's do something a little bit different. Give New York a break. There's like 7 other heroes living there. It's fine. But then we get to Europe, and the movie looks really pretty. I mean, Marvel always looks like good movies, and Sony, obviously, a lot of their films look gorgeous, even if the movies themselves don't end up being great. So, look-wise, I think the film looks good. He gets to Europe, and we meet up with Nick Fury, and I actually think it's a really fun Nick Fury introduction. Like, yeah, it's the big, goofy Spiral. He just knocks a dude out unconscious and is like, "You're coming with me, Spider-Man. Oh, and flip your friend over so it doesn't choke to death." It's fun, it's cute, it's lovable, and you know what? Peter's little group of friends he'll be with, I actually liked in the last movie pretty well. Ned Leeds, even though he definitely is meant to be more of like a Gonke clone, I think is really fun and likable and one of the standout aspects of Homecoming. Zendaya as MJ did not get a lot of screen time, but I am excited to see what else they'll do with her in this movie. And I actually really like the guy playing Flash. I know that seems hard to believe for a lot of people, but I feel like when I was in high school, the bullies weren't necessarily these big brainless jocks. A lot of times they were just sort of the spoiled rich a-holes who, looking back on it, really weren't anything that interesting. So having this guy be Flash, I actually think works, and he is so good at playing an asshole, it works. Then we get a shot of, if I remember correctly, oh yeah, the new suits. I don't like the new suits. I don't like he keeps getting new suits. I don't like that the message of Homecoming was he doesn't need expensive suits, and lo and behold, he's getting 2 more suits. Buy our toys. So that's what that is. Then we just get sort of the shot of Mysterio, we get a couple shots of the action beats, and yeah, they look pretty cool. I think Mysterio is a great choice for this more sort of comedic, John Hughes-inspired Peter Parker and Spider-Man. I think that works fine. Gyllenhaal's a great actor, so I think it's great he's going to be in this. I'm assuming Hydro Man is just one of Mysterio's illusions. I don't know if he's actually been cast. I haven't really been following this that much. But yeah, that all looks fun and exciting, and I think the joke at the end plays really well. All in all, I think this is probably going to be a really fun movie, just as I felt like Spider-Man Homecoming was probably the most fun Spider-Man movie we'd gotten up until that point, and I think Holland is probably the best Peter Parker. I say probably because, and this is where I get kind of split on this trailer, I actually don't love Homecoming that much. I know for some people that's sacrilege. For some people they're going like, yes, he's a Raimi fanboy, he's one of us. No, for me it's neither of those. I think Homecoming is a super fun film. I think it's a super entertaining film. But my problem is that it tries way too hard to just remind you Spider-Man's in the MCU. I feel like the sort of John Hughes references, though I think it's a great tone, I think they kind of beat you over the head with it a little too much. And on top of all that, I really hate the fact that the movie is just based on him trying to impress Tony Stark, because it feels like it takes away of what makes him Spider-Man. Now it's not about responsibility. Now it's not about Peter Parker's life always kind of going to shit. Now everything's fun and light and likable. He never has to really deal with the consequences of his actions, and that was sort of, I thought, the movie's big falling. A lot of people are okay with the fact that they didn't mention Uncle Ben. I wasn't, because I didn't feel like they really earned that. I didn't feel like this was enough of the Peter Parker we know and love that you could get away with not mentioning the whole freaking reason he's Spider-Man. I'm not saying I need the death again, I just need some sort of nod, and that's sort of my little worry going into this movie, is that it's just going to be more of the same. Like, we're just going to get that sort of homecoming tone. We're going to get it, he doesn't mention Uncle Ben. We're going to make it he doesn't really care about responsibility. He just wants to goof around in Europe. And there's definitely a place for all that, but it needs to be balanced out, and I didn't think Homecoming did a good enough job of balancing it out, and I'm worried we won't get that here. But even if the movie doesn't, I'm sure it's going to be a super fun, goofy popcorn flick, and hopefully, like Homecoming, it'll pick up in the second half. But what did you think? In the comment section below, give me your thoughts on this trailer, if you're excited for Far From Home, if you loved Homecoming, and anything else. And as always, click to like, click to subscribe, and join me for more superhero stuff in 2019.